Hi everyone, this is Aral from English for Everyone, and this lesson is about possessive pronouns. The previous lesson was about possessive adjectives. If you haven't watched that video, you can just watch it by clicking on this eye on this corner. You might find that one helpful to understand this a bit more, but this is not a complicated or difficult lesson. Alright, so let's move into the lesson. Alright, we talked, as I just mentioned, we talked about possessive adjectives. Adjectives are words that come before a noun, so that adjective comes before the noun and shows who the owner of that noun is. For example, name, okay, it says my name. My name, this name, in this my shows that name belongs to I, okay, to me. So I, then we say my, you, your, she, her, and the rest are over here. You can see them all over here. So my, your, his, her, these are possessive adjectives, and these, just like an adjective that comes before a noun and describes the noun, for example the color, for example say brown, book, brown, whatever, that adjective is to describe the word and tells about the word a bit more. Possessive pronouns like my, your, his, her, possessive adjectives come before a noun to show, actually they are describing the word in a different way. They are talking about the owner of the word. For example, if that is a car, my car, that is described, and now we know which car we're talking about. Alright, so those are adjectives, but we have possessive pronouns as well. What are pronouns? Pronouns are the words that replace a noun to prevent repetition. Okay, for example, I say Mr. James came here. Mr. James is 49 years old. Mr. James is a teacher, and I am repeating Mr. James too much. And I can easily use a pronoun, and I can say Mr. James came here, he is 49. He is a teacher. So he is here, he is used to prevent repetition of the name. So possessive pronouns should be something like possessive adjectives, but definitely they are not adjectives, they would not appear before a noun. Let's talk about these things in more details. Okay, so for example, if I want to talk about a book, I would say this is my book. Okay, this is my book. My acts just like an adjective, actually is an adjective for book, and it describes the owner, actually describes the book by relating it to someone else. Okay, this is my book. My talks about the book and explains a bit more. Now, how can I use a pronoun to talk about this? I can easily rewrite the sentence. I can say, this book is mine. Mine. Okay, so you can see, instead of saying my book, I bring book in the beginning of the sentence, as you can see over here. I have book in the beginning of the sentence, and then instead of saying my book, instead of saying this book is my book, I say this book is mine. It shows the owner, okay, so it is possessive, and it's a pronoun. It prevents the repetition, prevents from repetition. So we do not have two books in the sentence, okay? Instead of saying this book is my book, I say this book is mine. And you can see, after mine, I do not have any word, okay? So something like mine book, mine hand, mine, oh no. They can't be right. They can't be right. There is a mistake, definitely. So mine is alone, okay? Bear in mind. So let's talk about the rest and let's list them, okay? So I am bringing these things up again over here, these adjectives. So you can say my, your, his, her, and I'm going to put the other ones in front. Test yourself if you know them. You can stop the video and put the rest in front, see if you can remember them. If not, just join me, I'm gonna do it right now. So I can say this is my book or this book is mine, as we just mentioned the previous the example. So in the example we mentioned this. So you can say, instead of saying my something, I would say mine. Alright, let's talk about the second one. This book is your book. I say this book is yours. This book is her book. This book is hers. This book is his book. This book is his. Okay, so mine, your, hers, his, its, but we do not use its. We'll come back to this. And then ours, yours, theirs. So if you look at the list over here, you can see that just my changes to mine, but the rest do not change. We do not change them, we just add z to the end. Okay, so your book, yours. His book, his. Again, the same thing, because it has z at the end, so we do not add anything else. We keep the same word. Okay, her book, hers. Our book, ours. Your book, yours. Their book, theirs. So we just add a z to the end, and we change the possessive adjective to possessive pronoun. Okay, so this is it. These are possessive pronouns. We do not mention the name that we possess after, or we have name of the thing that we have after these pronouns. When we are asking for something's owner, okay, then we might use whose, okay, and the answer to whose is a possessive pronoun. Okay, so let me give you an example. For example, we have a pen on the table left. Okay, students are leaving the class and I can see a pen on the table and say, whose pen is this? Whose pen is this? Okay, so I'm asking a question using the WH word, whose. And the answer to whose can be a possessive pronoun. I can say, it's mine. Okay, or it's his, it's hers. Okay, so I am talking about the owner of that pen. Okay, so instead of saying it is her pen, I can say it's hers. Of course, there is nothing wrong saying it is her pen. Okay, you can say it is her pen. You can say it's hers. Both are correct, but it's not a bad idea to know both ways and use both of them. Okay, especially if you're going to take IELTS, you'd better know the different ways of mentioning or just expressing a sentence in different ways. That will help you to get a better grade. Have you heard this sentence, or let's say this phrase, a friend of mine, a friend of mine? You might have heard it, okay, or it might be your first time, I don't know, but this is something that we use and we would not say a friend of my friends. A friend of my friends, it means one of all, okay, one of the, I have 10 friends, okay, one of them. Instead of saying a friend of my friends, which is not common, you would say a friend of mine, okay? Or maybe I'm talking about my brother's friend, well, one of them. Instead of saying a friend of my brother, I would say a friend of his, okay? So that is another area that we use mine, your, his, hers, and those words which we just talked about, which are the possessive pronouns. The previous lesson was about possessive adjectives. This one was about possessive pronouns. The next lesson, the one that is coming after this, is about reflexive pronouns, which are myself, yourself, himself, herself. I'm going to talk about those things. If you have any questions about that one, and if you want to review those things, so just click on this I. This will take you there. And if you have any questions about this video, if it's not clear, if you need more examples or anything like this, just comment it below this video. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.